Welcome back to Tao of Twang. I'm Dave. If you haven't been with us before, welcome. Those of you that are returning, thank you so much. Everybody's doing some great work. Gotten a lot of feedback on this major pentatonic stuff and using that Dylan track and to jam over that. Seems like it's really working out for a lot of you. Today we're gonna just keep building our skills. And the topic today is we're going to add we're going to talk about using triads in our improvising. So the intro that you just saw is two chords. It's A and D. A, D, sorry. Okay, that's it. I hope I'm playing the same rhythm there. It's those two chords. And then a lot of what I did in there was sort of that major, that kind of stuff. And that's really featured in those lessons called Major Pentatonic and the one that works on the Tangled Up in Blue stuff. So if you want to go back and look at some of that, if you haven't. In this approach, what we're going to do today is, and we're going to talk about this more in the future, but we're just going to lay down this basic idea of how to use the notes that are in a chord, especially the three main chord tones called a triad, mixed in with our kind of scale playing, right? And give us some other stuff to bounce around with. So let's take it one chord at a time. We just have the two, so it won't take us that long as far as analysis. But for the A, I got three versions of the triad, positions and forms of the triad circled there. That's down at the bottom. See, that one note is behind the nut. That's an open string on the high E. So those strings are the G, B, and high E. Just make sure you're on the right part of the neck, right? Then you move up to the 5th fret. You got that, which is really just those three strings taken from your bar chord. Think of it that way. Okay. Then you got another one up there on the 9th fret that looks kind of like a D chord down here. Don't get confused. All chords that have a name down here will have a shape, so that same shape somewhere else on the neck, it'll be a different chord. Let that soak in. That's kind of some abstraction about how the guitar works, right? So let's just take these three and kind of work out on them for this lesson. And you can do that with a loop or with some music, or just, by looking at the diagram and kind of pausing the video for a few minutes and really getting those under your fingers. Let me mention one more thing. This one down here, with the lowest one on your neck, it could be moved to the 12th fret, which would be just like your guitar starting over. See, it's the same note. Okay, so if some of this is slipping through the cracks, don't worry about it. Just, take what you can deal with right now, and then, watch it a couple times. But check it out. We'll just see what those three A shapes can do for us with this progression. Okay. Well, there's something going on there, right? Right away. Now, those diagrams are just showing you what the forms are. It's not what they're not licks to play. I'm not showing you what order to play the notes in and the rhythm and stuff. So you got to let yourself go a little bit. Come up with your own stuff to practice it. But just up and down ideas are good to really get it started. For example. Okay? Something like that. Doesn't have to be exactly like what I just played. So, some of you might be asking right now, well, can I only do that over the A? Because there's two chords. Well, turns out you kind of can. It's not going to sound bad. Watch this. Here it is over the A, over the D. There's some yin yang, right? It all kind of rolls over to the next one. Yeah, you can't play a bad note doing this. So, this next diagram, put that on the back burner for just a second, or stop and really rehearse those three forms of A triad. Okay. You come back. This diagram here has the same shapes on it, but in different places. I'll let that be another little peek into the nature of the neck of the guitar. So you've got that first one, that lowest one, lowest meaning furthest down the neck towards the head, is that D chord, right? You recognize that shape. Okay. When you move it up here, it's something else. There's your homework. So we got this one, this one, and this one. And you can go past the 12th. Okay. Now, get your A positions under your fingers. Do a little memorizing. Do the same thing for the D's. It's going to be a little confusing, but stick with it. And now, try alternating between that A and that D using those different shapes in your own way. And here's what I mean. So A, D, A, D, A. Okay. Now, doesn't have to be that in that order. But practicing in an organized way, memorizing things in an organized way, is how you store that in your body, in your hand, not just in your mind, in your ear, and in your finger, your hands. So make a routine and repeat it. Then, to have some fun, and I'll let this play out at the end, use your other stuff that you've already got going on, like your major pentatonic. But every once in a while, dance around with these triads mixed in there, something like this. Okay. Now, let me turn that on. I put, a few extra little notes in there, but for the most part, I tried to stick to some of that, that kind of stuff, that major pentatonic stuff. And then here and there, I would get on one of those triads and go A, D. Okay. And, it might seem a little square. I'm kind of, up and down and up and down. That's okay. It's gonna, once that stuff gets under your fingers, your creative influence over it will start to come in. You won't even notice it. That's the really cool thing about improvising in general is you're kind of like, hey, I wasn't really thinking about what I was doing just then, but it was working, right? And that's what this method's really all about. So I feel like this was kind of a lot in one lesson, but just remember your routine here is take those two diagrams, memorize where some of those forms are of those triads, and then don't try to race around with that backing track right away. Do your own. Make a little melody, and then give it a try. And I'm going to make another jam track of this riff that I'll put up in the next, probably tomorrow. And it'll have a little more, some drums and keys and stuff in it, and be a little funner to play with. So leave comments, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to answer a lot of things on Messenger and stuff, but I really like the YouTube format better, using the comments on there. So let me know how you're doing. Okay, thank you.